Stop allowing energy vampires to sap your vital life force. This energy is your cosmic right. This energy belongs to you, and it is for the purpose of sustaining a vibrant and vital life on this earth. It is the energy that you use to maintain your body and to create the world around you. It is the energy that you use to send love and healing to everyone and everything around you. And instead, it is being drained by energy vampires who are literally everywhere. Stay with me, and I'm going to teach you how to recognize these energy vampires, how to understand what's happening, and how to stop it once and for all, and almost immediately, to be honest. The first thing you have to know is that energy vampires are not strangers. They're not creatures of the night. They're not mythical beings. They are everyday human beings that exist all around you. They are people at work. They are people at the store. But the really freaky thing is that sometimes they're friends. A lot of times they're people that we're close to, family members, even our spouses, people we're in relationships with. It's not that the person is a vampire. It's that there's something inside of them. Think of it in any terms that you want. Think of it as an infection that needs to infect someone else, or think of it as a demon, if you will, if that's not too strong of a word for you, that seeks to possess someone else. Or think of it as an energy form that requires a similar energy to come out of you in order to feed it. Here's a simple example. Karens. We're familiar with the concept of Karens. A Karen needs you to get upset with her. She goes out there looking to feed off of that energy, and she will create drama. She will create a situation. She doesn't care to be right or wrong. She's not seeking to be right. She's seeking to be fed. There is something inside of her, a parasite on the energy level, that wants a certain type of energy to feed it so that it can sustain itself and continue to exist. And Karen will set up a situation for whoever falls into her trap and will try to make that person respond by feeding her a specific type of energy. She is entrapping you into feeding her a certain type of energy. Now, that is very easy to understand when you're looking at a Karen, right? Everybody understands a Karen, and we know how they work. But this sort of behavior exists with any energy pattern that exists within a person that requires the feeding of a negative emotion, of a negative energy, right? Energy leaves you in the form of an emotion. And the people who carry hungry pain bodies, Eckhart Tolle refers to this concept as a pain body. You can refer to it by any terms you want. These pain bodies need to generate an emotional reaction in you in order to feed. And these pain bodies feed on anything negative: pain, fear, suffering, aloneness, loneliness, worry. And they know how to push your buttons to get you to exude energy in the form of the emotion that they require. So I'm sure if you think about a colleague at work that you don't particularly like, who comes to you every single day and starts the same crap, you will understand what I mean. It could be someone who likes to talk about the latest terrifying thing in the news because they want to generate fear in you. It could be someone who wants to remind you of pain, the pain that happened to you, the injustice that happened to you. Sometimes it's people that are really close to us. Quite frankly, a lot of the times it's either our partner, our spouse, or even our brother or sister. People who know us really, really well, who've been with us for a long time, and who know what lies dormant in us. And their pain body is trying to wake up your pain body and say, come on, let's play and let's build a huge energy field and let's all feed on this together. It's hard to notice it, especially with siblings, because you've been at it forever. You have been at it since you were 1 or 2 years old, maybe since you were born. And it has become a very familiar dance. It takes different forms in different people. Bossiness, controlling, jealousy, envy, those kind of things. That's what the behavior looks like. But what is really happening is that sibling is trying to instigate, is trying to provoke you to feed them the response that they need. The thing that you have to recognize is that the only way to stop it is to stop feeding them. The pain body requires feeding. It requires that energy. And when it steps up to you, it does so because it knows from past experience that you will feed it. And if you have been fighting with this sibling for 40 years, or if you have been having this fight with your spouse every single night for the last 5 years, then what's happening is that pain body knows that it has a guaranteed source of food inside of you. If you engage with that, the truth is there's a pain body inside of you. There's a little tiny energy demon inside of you that gets its kicks from this. They feed off of you, but you feed off of them. The trickiest thing about pain bodies is that they can hide inside of your very self, inside of your own collection of energy, inside of your body. What you call yourself carries trauma, carries fears, carries the desire to be right, the desire to fight, the desire to prove yourself, the desire to say, not this time, you've been doing this to me for 40 years, but by golly, tonight it ends. That's just another pain body. And not only are you feeding your brother or sister's pain body or your wife's pain body, you are feeding your own pain body. And it will never end. It will never end. You will never, ever, ever have a fight where you win and it's a clear win and it's a victory and we all agree that you won. It won't, because that's not what anybody's seeking. Their pain body is not seeking to win and your pain body isn't seeking to win. They are simply seeking to generate an energy that feeds and perpetuates the existence of this little energy being inside of you. They are feeding off of energy. The only way to stop this is to stop feeding them. It's as simple as that. It can be easy at first to learn how to do this with other people. Easy. Once you recognize what's going on, you can start doing it more and more and you get stronger and stronger. After years of doing this, I have come to the point where I can see it coming. I can predict it coming. In fact, recently I was working with a woman who just really, really wanted to quarrel about something. And I knew what it was too. I knew what was being triggered inside of her. And I knew that she was coping by wanting to start something. And on one particular day, she came up to me and she tried from this angle, and I didn't duck. I simply, when she said, rah, 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 I said, hey. And then she came up on this angle and she said, rah, 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 rah. I said, oh, okay. And she kept coming and she kept coming and she kept coming. And it lasted about 15 or 20 minutes. When you're working with someone, you can't necessarily walk away from them per se. And I was like, okay. And she said something that was atrociously untrue. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I didn't seek to be right. I sought to get her to stop trying to feed off of me. The thing with a pain body that is absolutely guaranteed is that it will try, and then it will try again, and then it will try quite loudly, and then it will give up. It will give up, and it will go somewhere else to feed, because its objective is to feed off of an energy that comes off of an emotional response. Does that make sense? Okay, so in the first instance, they will get louder and louder, and then they will give up and walk away. The next day, they'll come and they'll try it again, and then they'll walk away a little bit quicker. And then by the third or fourth or whatever instance, they will realize, wait a minute, do you not feed me anymore? Like, what is happening here? We put out fruit for birds every now and then, and they come and they eat the fruits. And if we don't put out for a few days, they'll check it, and then they'll be like, wait, what? No more fruit? And then they will go somewhere else. They'll just assume that food source has dried up for the time being. If you persist in observing the pain body that is coming at you and not engaging with it, the pain body will go away. Not only for that day, but by persisting, it will go away forever. And that is when you really see miracles in your relationship. That is when your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your neighbor, your friend, your boss, your spouse starts to change. The thing inside of them that needs feeding no longer tries to feed off of you. The beautiful thing about this is that the thing inside of you that used to enjoy co-feeding and co-triggering starts to die also. The thing inside of you no longer gets fed because that relationship, that dynamic isn't happening anymore. So the two beings are starving. You can, just as the person you're engaging with can go out there and try to find someone else, you can also try to find someone else. But since you're the one who is conscious, who is awakening, who is practicing spiritual awareness, you can become aware of it. Because what makes a pain body or an energy vampire go away is starving it. What makes it die is the light of consciousness. When consciousness shines its light on this pattern, this energy body, this pain body, this energy form, it slowly begins to wither. It gets smaller and weaker and smaller and weaker and smaller and weaker, and then it goes away. Since you're only responsible for what you carry and what you work with, you continue to maintain this awareness. Recognize, I love to gossip. I love to be afraid. I love to watch sensational things on news. I love to talk about injustices. Whatever it is. I'm just reminded of a friend who went through sexual trauma, abuse as a child. And then she spent years watching television shows and movies that were about sexual abuse of young children. Because the pain inside of her needed to feed on pain. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I don't want people to mistake what I'm saying as don't feel your feelings, don't, pretend it never happened. That's not what I'm saying. But the thing inside of you begins to heal and shrink when you and permanently die, not simply go away or go dormant, but permanently die when you hold it within the light of consciousness. You simply have to maintain awareness, know what is happening, watch what is happening, and choose to remain as your divine self, observing it rather than engaging in it. It will eventually die, wither and go away within you. And for people close to you, such as your spouse, your children, your close family members, the light of your consciousness is actually enough to help them also, because your awareness not only turns them away from wanting to feed on you, but it slowly causes their pain body to wither and die. And whenever you hold presence, you affect the people close to you and make it easier for them to hold presence, even if they don't understand what's happening, even if they don't know how to do it, and even if they disagree with you. And they're like, you're crazy, you're stupid, you're belittling me, you're mocking me, and shut up. Just continue to hold your presence and know that you are blessing your family members and their patterns. In fact, when it comes to family, you're talking about karmas, you're talking about generational patterns, generational traumas, and you are purging stuff that has been with your family for generations. And you're doing it because you are holding on to the position of the self. And you are shining the light of consciousness, the most toxic thing when it comes to energetic demons, pain bodies, pain patterns. Just keep at it and it will stop. I hope you have been enjoying this. I hope you understand this. Please leave comments and tell me what you think about it. I want to continue to talk more about what pain bodies are, where they come from, how they behave. what your energy is and how that energy translates into thoughts and emotions, and how you're sapping or leaking your energy by not being aware of how you spend it. So please let me know every step of the way how you're absorbing this and what you think of it. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.